Very, very happy to be here this morning to open Downtown Line Stage 1. It's our fifth major MRT line, and it's the beginning of our plans to double our MRT network to 360 kilometers by the year 2030. When this downtown line is completed, it will become the world's longest driverless underground MRT line. Every day it will move more than 500,000 riders, and it will make it faster and easier for families in the eastern and northwestern parts of Singapore to travel to the city centre and to the rest of Singapore. So this is the first step in that journey. We've come a very long way since the early 1980s, when we were considering whether to build a train system at all. There were different views because it was a very big decision and a very big change from where we were. And Dr. Goh Keng Swee was cautious. He felt we should expand our bus network, but Mr. Howe Yun Chong was convinced that we should build a train network. At that time, I was studying in Harvard, so I got a message from home asking me to get in touch with a professor in Harvard, Kenneth Hansen, and he was a professor in transport economics, and I asked him whether he would come to Singapore to do a study and advise us on the merits and the ways we could expand our public transport system. So he came to Singapore, he brought a team, he did a study, and he recommended an all-bus system. But he said, you can't make it work. All you have to do is to make all the buses run 20% faster than they do. And it wasn't such an unreasonable idea at that point where we were. But eventually, we studied it carefully and we concluded this was not practical given our land constraints. And to run buses 20% faster, every passenger must get on 20% quicker. Every bus driver must be 20% more alert. The traffic has to give way is not possible. So and even if you had done 20%, what happens when I need to go 20% faster beyond that and the city grows and the traffic grows? So eventually we accepted the recommendation of a government study team to go for a combination of buses and trains, all of the above, and below as well. So in MRT, so we started work on the MRT in 1982, when we opened the first 5, and then we opened the first 5 MRT stations on the North-South line in 1987. Before progressively opening other stations on the east, west, and north-south lines. And that was the start of the MRT station, MRT network, which we have today. But we haven't stopped here. We are continuing to invest in our public transport infrastructure to make this a better home for Singaporeans and to raise the quality of life for us all and to make it a more convenient and business-friendly city. So in the immediate term, we're increasing bus services through the Bus Service Enhancement Program, the BSEP. We've added 16 new routes and buses to 111 services. And so waiting times have come down, service standards have gone up. But the BSEP is still continuing, and we have plans beyond that. We are investing more resources to maintain and service existing train infrastructure. Extra effort is now paying off because the service and reliability is improving, breakdowns are faster. You still have an interruption from time to time. Sometimes a cable gets damaged, we have trains stop, commuters inconvenience. But if we look at the statistics, the trends, the averages month by month, steadily but surely we are improving things. In the longer term, we are expanding our MRT network, bringing in new trains, upgrading our signaling system, so that commuters can enjoy more comfortable rides and shorter waiting times. And we're opening several new lines and extensions over the next decade and a half, 10, 15 years. Downtown Line, Tuas West Extension, Thomson Line, Eastern Regional Line, Jurong Regional Line, and Cross Island Line. So anybody coming to Singapore, the dictionary for Singapore acronyms will be a little bit longer. But by 2030, our rail system will be larger, denser, and more integrated than Hong Kong or New York City today. And 8 in 10 households will be within a 10-minute walk of a train station. So I hope you will be patient, you will support what we are doing, and we will enjoy the progress in the services in the network year by year. These infrastructure improvements will take time, but meanwhile, there are many little things which we can do to make our journeys more pleasant. For example, giving up seats to those who need them more. And I'm glad Singaporeans are doing this more on their own. Once in a while, you find a young man pretending to be asleep when a pregnant lady is standing by or an old gentleman. So just to remind them before they fall asleep, not to use that chair, the trains on the downtown line have now got special chairs, brightly colored priority seats. There's no reason you won't notice when you sit down there. We can also make it a more pleasant experience by queuing for trains instead of jostling at the doors. And you see this in other cities, even where the trains and platforms are very crowded. In Tokyo, or in Japan generally, the passengers are very orderly and well-disciplined and instinctively queue up, even when there are just 2 of them standing on the platform. And I was in Seoul recently, took a ride. Similarly, it's marked on the ground, on the platform, but people will queue up. That's just the way you do these things. And I'm glad that it's catching on here too. At Bishan and Ang Mo Kio stations, the commuters are starting to queue in order to board trains. And SMRT and LTA are quietly encouraging passengers at other stations to follow suit, and it's beginning to happen, even at crowded stations like City Hall. It shows good social graces, and it makes getting on and off a more pleasant social experience. So I thank everyone who's involved in making Stage 1 of Downtown Line a reality. First of all, the SBS Transit staff, who have continued to do a professional job and to keep morale high despite a lot of pressure and several challenging years. They are coping well with the public demands and with the scrutiny, and we will continue to give you and the other transport operators our full support. Thank you very much. Secondly, I should mention the LTA officers who are planning and implementing a national public transport system. It is not an easy job. I know that you take pride in your work and have great satisfaction in delivering a good quality network for all. I'd also like to thank all the contractors and all the builders and all those who have worked to make this happen. Today's opening is a tribute to your hard work. Well done, and thank you very much indeed. I think all of us will be taking the train ride later. I hope you all enjoy this ride on the brand new line. It's free until the 1st of January, 10 days' time. So take advantage of this. Test out the new trains, enjoy the facilities, experience the ride. And don't forget to queue up, and don't forget to offer your seats to those who need them more. Thank you very much.